Hi, my name is Bob Taylor, and I'm your host for this segment of OurVentura TV. I'm here today with my guest, Sue Part from OLLI. Sue, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
What is OLLI?
OLLI is four initials that come from Osher Lifelong Learning Institute.
Okay, so it's an education, and what is Osher?
Exactly. Osher is a foundation that was started years ago by Bernard Osher, based out of San Francisco, and he was supporting medical and educational endeavors throughout the country. And he realized around the year 2000 that there was a need for, quote, seniors, people 50 and over, who were still curious about life and had a lot of interest and wanted to be able to take classes. And that's where we got our motto, curiosity never retires.
Oh, I really like that. You know, and as you're so right, because as we live longer, I mean, 50 years ago, at 50, you weren't looking to learn more or to still be in the, let's say, the social world.
Yeah,
and
right.
Now, 50 is just a starting point for us.
It is. I think our average age of an OLLI, we call ourselves members, sometimes refer to students, members. The average age of the OLLI member is about 72 years
no
old.
Kidding.
But we go on up. There's one of our members who's 102. So there's no, there's no upper age limit. There is a lower age limit. You have to be at least 50 to take our classes.
Okay, so your classes are offered, so it's not like regular college classes.
It's not like regular college classes in that we have no homework, no tests, no kidding, as we say. We're there just for the learning. They're academic level classes.
Okay, so can you get credits towards a degree?
No.
Okay, so
no
it's
credits.
not a degree, it's not a credentialed.
Exactly, right. And it's really fun because people are there just for the sake of learning,
right.
And a huge variety of classes that we have. And many of the instructors are from, my particular OLLI is based at California State University Channel Islands in Camarillo, but there are 120 campuses throughout the U.S. that have OLLI programs.
Well, Bernard must have had a lot of money.
I think so. May he still live in good health because he is still going strong and supporting.
Okay. Now, in this day and age of, I'm going to say political unrest. I'm not a political kind of person. Not sure about budgets and stuff. Is that going to affect you? Do you get any kind of federal thing?
Well, no federal thing, but in fact, because we started with an endowment from the Osher Foundation, and we do take the interest out every year, and that is part of what we spend. When the market was having a hard time in the 2008 period, so it did affect us. There was less coming on interest in the original grant. So, but it wasn't a huge thing for us because also we charge for our classes. We pay our instructors at the Cal State Channel Islands OLLI. Some OLLIs have a lot of leeway throughout the country, and some of them don't pay their instructors.
Also, some of them are just volunteer instructors.
Right. Right, and sometimes they're from the university or college campus. Ours are a mix. We have quite a few instructors who are from Cal State Channel Islands who are teachers there. Right. We have other people, actually we have some from CLU and others who are just expert in their field. And we're a great place to teach if you love your subject and you want to teach, because you don't have to grade us. We're not sitting there texting the whole time. And no, they don't have to give homework. And you also find that people are in the classroom very often will have been involved in a field maybe of what you're teaching. Maybe it's literature classes that we have, or science, DNA and the latest things coming out with CRISPR and genetics and history. And so people will have a good background of education and actually can contribute, which most of our instructors really like. And
right.
And they learn who can contribute to the thing.
The instructors can also learn based on that.
True, they do,
Instructor might have all the book knowledge in the world to teach, but somebody in the audience could have some real experience out in the world.
Right, it's very true.
I can't hardly imagine a class that everybody wants to be there.
Right, and that's so much what you have with all. There's social aspects too. It's a very kind of friendly group of people. There are other things other than classes too. We have some field trips that'll be day-long to the museum or Edwards Air Force Base or any number of interesting things that come up that are sponsored by our OLLI.
Okay, now you said members. Do people tend to start taking classes and just keep taking them forever, or do people come for a couple of years and learn something and disappear, or?
No, we have, in fact, it seems like people do stay and continue to take classes because you get hooked.
And that's why you call them members.
It's so much fun. If you think about it, there are a few things less fun than learning where you don't have anything at stake, you're not going to be tested, you're just there for the pleasure of it.
Okay, your average, not necessarily your particular one, but your average OLLI setting is classes 2 nights a week, 3 nights a week, or how do they do that?
Our classes are generally 8 weeks long, but we have 4-week-long classes too, and they meet once a week for 2 hours. So in other words, an 8-week class would be 16 hours of class time. Okay. And we have them in about, I think, 6 or 7 different venues we hold our classes. Most of them are at Channel Islands in the Broome Library. Beautiful campus.
It sure is a beautiful library, isn't it?
And the whole campus is just magnificent.
Isn't that something, the way that so much it's changed out there?
Yeah.
It is so beautiful.
It's a wonderful place, and the library is magnificent. We have a dedicated classroom there. Most of our classes are there. We run them all week long. Then we have some classes at Leisure Village, Gore Hills Recreation Center.
Leisure Village, that's a tough place to get into.
We managed.
Right, that's great.
We had some OLLI members who were really enthusiastic to get us to have a class in there. And we have classes at Vase, just off the freeway, and new site for us is the Ventura Avenue Adult Center on Ventura Avenue.
Great.
Someplace else, let's see, Leisure Village.
Well, hey,
one other site.
That's more than enough for people to find their way to.
Yeah, there's something for everyone.
Now, how do people find out about you? Other than us being on the TV today, I've never seen an advertisement. I got it from word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth, when we take a poll of our people, it is friends tell them about our program, about OLLI. You can always go online and look under Cal State University Channel Islands and then go to Extended Ed. We're part of Extended Ed, and our program is with University of Cal State Channel Islands. Also, there's a phone number I can give you at the end if you like.
Why don't you give us our number now, and I'll ask for it again at the end just to make sure.
Okay. It's 437-1634.
And that'll
it's
get
an
you a real
805
person?
number. It'll get you a real person who can tell you about what's available.
All right, and when we're done talking, we'll give that number,
good.
Once again. Okay, so how long have you been with the group?
I think I started right near the beginning of OLLI at Channel Islands, which was in about 2004.
Okay, so have you seen a lot of changes as it goes on? And
the group, it keeps growing, and I imagine it will continue to grow because people want it.
So how do you decide what classes you're going to put on? Do you say, here's the classes we're going to do, or do you take input from community or your members, or?
We take any input we can get, but the main thing is with the curriculum committee finding instructors who can fit in the different time slots.
Right, that's probably pretty tough.
And we have something during the summer called Taste of OLLI, and those are just 2-hour classes that meet once.
So that's a good idea.
It gives people an opportunity, an introduction. I think originally we started it so that an instructor could get the feel for what it's like to teach an OLLI class, and then they might go on to teach in the fall or the summer, or one of the other 8-week or 6-week or 4-week sessions.
Right.
And now it's so popular that we have a lot of instructors, and so many of them are so busy too, that they'll teach just a 2-hour OLLI class sometime during the summer or November and December. We also have the Taste of OLLI.
Okay, now one of the first things I think of when you talk senior community, there's a lot of people that want to learn that really don't have a lot of dollars.
Right.
Are your classes less money than college classes? Are they more money than college classes, or?
Oh, they're probably much less than college. We have compared them to other adult ed programs, and they're comparable or less. But we charge generally, it varies, or it could vary over time, but it's $80 for one 8-week class.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it's considered very reasonable.
Right.
And it's well worth it. We also have some scholarships that are available.
That's really inexpensive. I mean, that doesn't even cover the instructors unless you have a pretty big class.
Right. Our biggest classes are maybe 60, 65 in our biggest venues.
That's a good size class, so you can get a lot of participation with that kind of class. Especially when everybody wants to be there.
Some of our, they want to be there and they want to participate. Some of our OLLI instructors came to us because they were OLLI students.
Oh,
and
how special
and vice
is that?
versa. Yeah, and some of our instructors have started taking OLLI classes as long as they're over 50.
Just to learn a little bit more in the
Sure.
academic world.
Right.
Okay, now, with all of these things, one thing I know real well is it takes an awful lot of volunteers. Some pay their instructors, some don't. But whether you do or not, it still takes an awful lot of volunteers to put this kind of thing together.
It does.
Even you paying your instructors at CSU-CI,
Right.
how many volunteers do you think it takes to put these classes on?
I'd say we have a hardcore 40 volunteers and then another peripheral 20.
So hardcore. Those are the ones you
The ones
see
who-
every year that want to continue to help and that kind of thing.
And really put in a lot of time, a whole lot of time.
So I'm sure a lot of the volunteers is great for them because they also get the educational time in too.
And they get to know what's going on. It's fun. We have something called OLLI ambassadors for every class we hold, and there might be, say, 27 or 28 classes in one session. There's one person who will take charge, sort of, and introduce themselves to the class, answer any questions, help the instructor if the instructor needs any help with the audio-visual stuff, and
Oh, that's really great.
they're volunteers too.
Right.
So
Now what, I got so many questions to ask them with so little time. Do you find people taking a class and then wanting to retake it?
they can't retake the same class in that we don't offer the same class again. I think we have at least a several-year break
Oh,
before
I
the
see.
same
Okay.
class can be offered again. So it's always changing and turning over, and there's always new material.
Well, I remember when my wife and I took an adult education Spanish class. We didn't live
See.
near anybody Spanish, so every year we wanted to take that beginning
Yeah.
class, and we were paying for it at the Learning Tree, which is a little bit costly. But we
Right.
still never got past basic Spanish because we didn't use it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so I was kind of associating that with my experience, I
Right,
guess.
yeah. And so we don't have language classes. We also don't really have much in the way of hands-on classes. Our classes are really academic. I mean, the closest thing we've had is something where it can be part academic, like teaching about how to avoid dementia, and then doing something that 1 hour that is using your facilities to practice some of those things. But most of our classes are strictly academic.
Okay, well, we're just about out of time. So what didn't we cover that you think our audience might want to hear about?
I think just what a pleasure it is to be with a group of people like-minded in that they're interested in continuing to learn. And that's pretty exciting.
Well, it really is, because that in itself gives you a basis for friendship.
Right.
When everybody is one mind towards something. I mean, as long as you stay with the education, it doesn't matter what your political beliefs are, either side of the road, or whether you have kids, whether you don't, whether you're married or whether you're not.
Right.
You're all there for the same reason, and that's to learn something about a certain subject.
That's right. So true.
All right, one more time, why don't we give that phone number
The
again?
phone number that you can call is an 805 number, 437-1694.
Okay, now what times of the year do classes start? Or are they always starting at different times?
Well, we have one session that we're along with the university, with Cal State's calendar. So we started, usually it'll be in late January, and then again in maybe late March. During the summer, we have the Taste of OLLI, which goes about 8 weeks during the summer, June and July, maybe into August. Then we start again, whatever the schedule of Cal State Channel Islands will be. These days, it's usually late August. And then when they break, we have some Taste of OLLI in November and December.
It sounds like a great program to get involved in.
It's-
And yes, I am going to check it out.
I'm leaving you a catalog.
All right, thank you, Sue, for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Bob.